So, what if pretty much everything you've been told about building wealth is just wrong? What if you don't actually need a huge salary to become a millionaire? And what if that popular advice, the one about just renting and investing in stocks, is actually a myth that's holding you back from real financial freedom? Let's dive into this, because the numbers, well, they tell a really fascinating story.
Okay, check this out. This is a statistic that should honestly make you stop and think. In America, homeowners are worth 40 times more than renters. Not a little more, we're talking 40 times more. And this isn't about the super rich, this is about regular, everyday people. This one number shows a massive wealth gap, and it just begs a really important question.
You've heard it, right? The advice from all the financial gurus. Just rent an apartment and invest the money you save. But is that actually a trap? For decades, we've heard this theory. But you know what? Today, we're going to bust this myth wide open. We're going to reveal the real-world path to building wealth that doesn't rely on some spreadsheet theory, but on how we, as humans, actually behave. All right, let's just tackle this head-on. The reason for that incredible 40x wealth gap really comes down to a simple but powerful idea. Home ownership is one of the two main escalators to wealth, right alongside the stock market. But here's the thing. For most people, the path to really investing in the stock market in a meaningful way, it often starts with the equity they build in their own home. If you skip that first step, you really risk getting left behind.
Now this is where it gets really interesting, because this slide gets right to the heart of why that rent and invest idea just falls apart in the real world. I mean, it sounds great on paper, doesn't it? But in reality, it almost never happens. People end up renting a nicer place than they can really afford. They spend that extra money on other things, and then they turn around years later with zero equity and no extra savings to show for it. It's a classic behavioral trap.
So let's break down exactly how owning a home works its magic. Think about it. Every single mortgage payment you make is a form of forced savings. It's building your equity, your ownership stake. You get to use leverage, that's borrowing the bank's money, to control this huge asset that, over time, usually appreciates. And while your friends who rent are seeing their payments go up every single year, your fixed mortgage payment stays exactly the same. And maybe most importantly, that home equity is often what gets passed down to the next generation, giving them a massive head start in life. Okay, so we've seen how home ownership kind of acts like an automatic savings plan. But you might be thinking, I don't earn enough to even think about buying a home. Well, that brings us to the next huge myth we need to bust. This idea that you have to earn a six-figure salary to get rich. There is a powerful real-life story that just completely demolishes this belief.
I want you to meet the McIntyres. On an average income of around $40,000 a year, they retired at age 52 with a net worth of $1.8 million. I mean, how is that even possible? Simple. They had a system. They automated everything. A percentage of every single paycheck went straight to their retirement accounts and to paying down their mortgage faster, no questions asked. Now compare that to the high earner making over $100,000 a year, but who's living paycheck to paycheck because as their income went up, so did their spending. This proves it's not what you earn, it's the system you have for what you keep. So the crucial point is this, and you really need to let this sink in. You can't just earn your way to wealth. It doesn't work. Without a plan, more money just means more spending. It's what we call lifestyle creep. And the data is crystal clear. Even at really high income levels, a huge number of people are completely broke because they just don't have a system.
So if it's not about having a high salary or being some kind of stock-picking genius, what's the secret? It's all about making your financial life automatic. It's about creating a system that just works for you in the background. A financial autopilot that doesn't require any willpower or discipline from you. And the foundational rule, the absolute bedrock of this whole system, is to pay yourself first. I mean, think about it. The government doesn't ask you to budget for your taxes, right? They just take it out automatically. Your landlord or your bank takes their payment automatically. The wealthiest people in the world simply apply that same exact logic to themselves. Before anyone else gets a single penny of their paycheck, they automatically send the first hour of their day's income to their own investments. Here's the bottom line. Budgets fail. Willpower fades away. Our best intentions get forgotten in the chaos of daily life. The only financial plan that consistently works over the long haul is one that you put on autopilot. Once you set it up, it just works, building your wealth while you go on living your life.
So where does all this automatically saved money go? It's simple. It flows into three basic buckets. The first bucket is for your retirement, for future you, securing your long-term freedom. The second bucket is your emergency account,
That's your safety net, so you're never caught off guard by life's surprises. And the third bucket? That's your dream account. For a house, a vacation, starting a business, whatever your goals are. This system makes saving exciting because it's tied to your actual dreams. If you're finding value in this, please subscribe to our channel for more deep dives like this one.
Okay, let's make this incredibly real and totally actionable right now. How can a small, almost unnoticeable amount of money completely transform your entire life? Well, believe it or not, it all starts with finding just under 30 bucks. Seriously, if you ask most people what it would take to truly change their life right now, the answer isn't some crazy lottery number. For so many people, it's $10,000. That's enough to wipe out that nagging credit card debt, to finally escape a job you hate, or to just have a real financial cushion for the first time. It's the number that represents real freedom.
So how do you get that life-changing 10 grand in just 1 year? It breaks down to just $27.40 a day. That's it. Think about what that is. That's a daily fancy coffee and a lunch you buy out. It's an unused subscription and an impulse buy on Amazon. It's money that most of us are spending unconsciously without even realizing where it's going.
And the process here is just so deceptively simple. First, you just track your spending for like a week to find that money you're kind of wasting. Second, you set up an automatic transfer for that exact amount into a low-cost investment account, like an index fund. And third, well, you just let the incredible power of compound interest do all the heavy lifting. So, what happens when you actually do this? This is what happens. That simple, automated habit of investing just $27.40 a day over a 40-year career doesn't just grow, it explodes into over $4.4 million. This isn't magic, people. It's just math. It is the raw power of consistency and automation, turning your pocket change into life-altering wealth. It happens because your money starts making its own money, and then that money makes even more money, creating this unstoppable snowball of wealth.
All right, let's bring this all home. The debate isn't really house versus stocks. I mean, you can't live inside an S&P 500 index fund, right? You have to live somewhere. The real point, the thing I want you to take away is this. Over your lifetime, you'll work about 90,000 hours. The single most important financial question is, what is your automatic plan to keep some of that money for yourself? And that brings us to the final thought I want to leave you with. Don't try to change everything overnight. Just find one thing, one subscription you forgot about, one daily habit, one unconscious expense. So, I'll ask you, what is the one small thing you can automate today to start paying your future self first? The answer to that simple question, it could be worth millions.